Avoiding religious confusion. 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. For Paul is not, oh, y'all are not there. For what? God is what? Not the author of what? But of peace, as in what? All of the churches of the saints. Whenever there is confusion, keep it in mind that God is not behind it. There are churches that get in confusion, and they try to say God is sending confusion in the church. Not so. For in our text, Paul was writing to the churches of Christ, just a little bit up, in the city of Corinth, and they had a lot of problems there. Some thought that their gifts was better than others. And then there were those who spoke in tongues, and they thought that they had the better gift. And then there were some women that wanted to get involved. And Paul said, when it comes down to the tongues, let your women keep silent in the church. I guess God, in his wisdom, knew that one tongue was enough for a woman. But anyway, they were not permitted to speak in tongues. But there was confusion because some wanted to speak all at the same time. And Paul said you had to speak in courses. And then if you speak in tongues, if no one knew what you were saying, it was just vain. Somebody had to interpret what you were saying. And then he went on to tell this church that they ought to do everything decent and in order. And I want to just say to the churches of Christ everywhere, we need to start doing things decent and in order. We need to train our brothers and our sisters to carry on the program of the Lord's church in an efficient way. For as we go out into the world and to the community, they're not only looking at our doctrine, but they're looking at our decorum. They're looking at as to how we handle things. And so everywhere we need to get things together. And not only that, but there are some members that just stay confused all of the time. And when trouble comes up, they go to other members that are confused. Instead of getting in Bible study, the Bible says, study to show yourself approved unto God. You don't have to check with grandmother and with the oldest member of the church because she may be confused. You need to study the Bible for yourself, and when things rise up in the church that's antagonistic to the will of God, go to God's Word. Not to some member of the church, but God's Word. And then when you are having confusion with your own life, instead of blaming other people, 2 Corinthians 13 and 5 says, examine the preacher. Examine the elders. But the Bible said examine yourself to see whether or not you are in the faith. Prove yourself and know yourself. You see, if you start working on yourself, you won't have time to work on me. Am I right about it? You don't have a whole lot of time trying to place the CAI and the FBI in the church.